what's going on, guys?
What's up? Can you hear us?
I can hear you, and I can see all of you, I believe. Yep.
Sick.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Not much, man. How are you?
Very, very good. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Yeah, so our podcast is about your journey in the music industry, how you guys got to where you are today.
Cool.
Yeah. I usually, we'll go get all your stories individually, and then obviously how you guys formed Happy, and we'll go from there if that's cool with you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Cool. Right on, guys. So how did you guys all meet up? Are you all from the same area?
You want to take this one?
Yeah, we all went to school in Columbia, and then John and I were playing in another local band at the time, aside from Happy, and then our two bands ended up on the same bill together, and then we just became friends. And
wow.
It's so good, man. It's so great.
That was such an exciting story. You told.
You want exciting stories? No,
everyone in the same town being in the same bands, so like everyone in this town is in like 2 or 3 bands. So
yeah,
that's how you have to keep the scene alive. We create this mask by it looks like there's a lot of bands here, but it's just the same 5 dudes in 12 different bands.
Whereabouts are you guys? Where are you from originally?
So I grew up in Beaufort, South Carolina, which is near like Hilton Head, Charleston. It's like the beach. These guys.
Okay. I've been to Hilton Head quite a few times as a kid.
Oh, okay, cool, sick.
Yeah.
And then you're not born in.
I was born in Greenville.
Okay.
Raised in Texas, and then now I live in Columbia.
Oh wow. Okay. What part of Texas?
My dad was stationed out there in for the Army. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, lots of moving.
So basically, we came from all over the place. We all moved to Columbia to go to college, and that's kind of like, like you said, we played in a bunch of different bands, and then our 2 different bands played a show together, and we all just started like jamming. We were like, this is really fun. This is sick. And that's kind of how Happy became a band.
Oh, right on, right on. So how did you get into music originally?
Oh God.
Well, I met Sean at like a bonfire or something early in high school, and
that's so wholesome.
I brought a guitar, and he said, "Hey, I need to play drums." And then I went over to his house, and I just started going over there every day.
So here's Wonderwall Sean
Anyway,
joining a band.
It's actually a lot of Green Day.
So basically, all 16-year-olds can play.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
Gosh. So I went to like a music infused elementary school, and they forced me to play violin at a very young age.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I hated it then, and I look back and I'm like, wow, I really wish I stuck with that, because that's like a cool talent to have. But that's how I music and stuff. Then I got into high school, and I was like, screw that. I'm gonna play drums and loud guitar and not do the classical thing at all. And then after that, I did some college radio, and then that's how I met these guys playing shows. So,
what, you were on the radio in college?
Yeah, I did like a pop punk radio show for the college radio station, and
that's dope. I've been in radio for almost 20 years now. That's cool, man. I was on terrestrial radio forever, actually, until COVID. But yeah, man.
We're together, so that's sick.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So the first bands that you guys were in were just local. You just played around locally.
Yeah, God, the first band that I was ever in was a terrible like metal band, actually. No, but yeah, I mean, since we've been in club, like notable bands, I mean, I say notable, but decent bands that we were in here in Columbia. Yeah, these 2 guys play in another like side project called Fox Club. They're really talented. They're putting out music right now, actually, which is cool. It's very different than Happy, but if you like different, like heavier stuff, they're definitely the band for that. And I played drums in some like front bottoms rip-off bands, I guess you could say.
Oh, cool. Is it like, what were you playing on your pop punk show, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious.
Oh gosh, I played
front bottoms.
Yeah, so then I was probably going through like a really like Joyce Manor, Roswell Kid, Teen Suicide,
sure.
Sort of like really depressing shit. Then yeah.
That's rad.
But then throwbacks. We would do like a weekly thing where we would do the like Punk Goes Pop thing, and so we'd play like pop songs that were covered by punk bands and stuff.
That's
Yeah, we
cool.
hosted local shows though, and that's how I met these dudes, which was sick. WUSD,
Okay.
shout out to them. They're still hosting shows, so that's cool. Well, not at this moment, but in theory.
Right. They were up until COVID.
Yes, exactly.
This podcast episode should just be called Till COVID.
Yeah, till COVID.
Until COVID. What we did up until COVID.
Uh-oh, we lost you.
No.
Ah, I can still see you guys.
Oh, no.
Am I there?
I don't know if you can hear us, but you're
I-
frozen.
I can hear you, but you're frozen too.
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
You're back.
You back? Okay. I can see you guys, and I can hear you. I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. We're good now. We're good.
Cool. Right on. Well, tell me what happened. Okay, so right when you decided, okay, we have these two bands, let's join forces and start Happy. Tell me what the first thing, what happened first for you guys?
Oh, gosh.
We're trying to go on a couple of DIY tours.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, let's hear about that.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we
God.
were unsigned, just trying to get around. We wanted to not be a local band was kind of our goal. It was to just play anywhere else. So we would play. I hate to use the word horrible in the sense of venues that were not for our type of music. They were excellent for other genres, just not for us, I guess.
Sure.
Venues for line dancing.
Yeah, line dancing, biker bars,
Okay.
Cover band.
Christian coffee shop. Obviously we're grateful for all of those opportunities because of those shows we got to move up, I guess. But yeah, we did a lot of driving around in multiple Honda Civics just to drive up and down the coast and shower in the bathroom at rest stops and lots of
Gross.
vehicle issues, replacing serpentine belts on an RV in the middle of the night. Just the grind, man.
How did you figure that out? Was it just YouTubing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Lots of YouTube for mechanical issues.
Yeah, right. How to change an RV tire, how to eat on $3, just all that good stuff.
How to eat on $3. That's awesome.
The first breakthrough though was probably this Crown the Empire show we got for some reason.
Yeah, weirdly, we got on just a local show opening for Crown the Empire a couple 2 years ago, I think, and it was definitely the biggest show we'd ever played, and I think that was the first time where kids that would potentially be into our music were exposed to us through a different avenue, and we gained a lot of fans that kept coming to our shows after that.
For months after, kids would show up to our show with Crown the Empire merch on, so
rad.
So that was a really big
which we wouldn't have really expected that. Crown the Empire is different than how we sound, but it's just kind of the idea of we're from the South, there's not a lot of music like this, really tangible, I guess. And so to have a big band come through and give us the opportunity to expose us to other kids in our area that would have had no idea that we existed, that was dope. So shout out to those guys for letting us play with them.
How did you get on that show? Is it just
Our local promoter.
just through a local guy?
There's not many active bands in this town, so
Yeah, that's another thing that was kind of cool.
the same few bands open up the big shows.
Well, that's good. That works out for you guys then.
Yeah.
We all happen to be in those bands anyway.
Yeah, right. Pick one of our 4 bands that we're in, please. But I think that is one perk about being from a smaller area. We didn't come from Philly. We didn't come from Chicago, these really big hot spots where there's lots of music like ours, which there are pros and cons to that. But I think that the biggest pro being that, John just said, there weren't a lot of other bands around us to sort of give us that competition when it came to opening shows, which was a perk, which was nice. And I think that helped us a lot in the beginning.
But all of a sudden, there's a ton when Bayside comes to town.
Yeah.
Oh.
They did what was it, a contest?
Yeah.
To get,
I actually interviewed Anthony on that tour when he was here in San Diego for the podcast.
Yeah,
where they would have a local they had a local opener in every single city that they played. And they could do a thing online. Did you guys win that for your
Oh,
city?
no.
Oh, I was like, whoa.
It was everyone that has ever learned how to play a guitar was suddenly I am in a band and I need to play this show.
Oh.
No, it was cool though. Some guys that we actually know, I think, opened the show, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that it's cool in general when bands do stuff like that. Just bring out really small artists and let local bands open up. it worked for us, and so I know it still works for other bands. So that's really sick.
That is cool. Yeah. So you guys were probably already signed at that point when they did that, because I know they had all these restrictions on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or like if you had a certain amount of plays on Spotify, like you already imagine, like you weren't in the running anymore. Like you had to be like really, like
Oh yeah.
local. I think.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool thing because I remember he was telling me they went through and like had a look and double check, and like I guess on one of the shows in one town, I guess there was like some big beef, like blow up, like
Oh yeah.
people showed up and were like, these guys aren't like a local band. Like people were trying to pitch themselves in like close cities because they knew that there probably wasn't as good of talent there.
A lot of theaters too. A lot of
Yeah,
people
they had
like
to completely recount a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, people were like buying buying bots or whatever.
Oh,
Like
sounds
that's
like-
crazy, dude.
Yeah, like buying followers and streams to try to get on the
I
show.
will say another show. We opened for a band called Remo Drive
Mhm.
one time, and that was really amazing when
Yeah,
we were starting out. That was a really cool show. Another one of our first like sold out shows. Sold out for the other band, not for us. Yeah, like no.
honestly,
But
emo
still
night,
to play.
emo night here in Columbia is actually does really well.
That's true.
Yeah,
And
that's the only thing people come to.
yeah, I mean, it's like all these people will come and sing all these Fall Out Boy songs, and it's like, what? Why aren't you coming to our shows? And
Right. Yeah.
There's 400 people every
yeah,
day.
it'll
Right,
sell out 300 people, and we're like, what?
Where'd you guys come from? Like, come to our show. Like, no, but
Yeah.
no, really, the emo night here is really sick. We've definitely had the opportunity to play that a couple times, which has been amazing.
So
We've
fun. Yeah.
met a lot of new people doing that, which is really, really cool.
Is that like the Brooklyn or LA one that's touring, or is it just a one that
it's
popped up
kind
there
of
in your
like-
city?
It's like a spin-off of that. They're not like directly associated with that emo night. There's like emo night Columbia, emo night Raleigh, emo night Charlotte. They all just, it's like the same concept, but I don't
Yeah.
think that there's any.
They do like seasonal themed shows. And it's
That's cool.
Yeah, we did like a 90s night one time. That
That
was
was
really
sick.
sick. We had a lot of fun doing that.
That's rad. That's really rad. Yeah, I saw that is on your EP, The Endless Bummer, you have a song called You Probably Never Heard This Because It's Not Dashboard Confessional. That's like the
Oh,
coolest
shit.
song title I've ever seen.
Like that's what happens when you're 19 years old and you're naming songs. Like I was like, oh yeah, let me make this like a panic song and it's gonna be a whole paragraph long. Like that's so funny. Oh shit, that's about a shitty roommate I used to have a long time ago, and I can't even believe I wrote a song about that. To be honest with you, man, that was a long time ago.
Was that your first thing you guys put out? Was The Endless Bummer?
Yeah, and honestly, that almost feels like a different project in a way, just because like I don't know. I wrote a lot of that shit like by myself, I guess, and was just trying to get out music just to like be able to play shows and to be able to, you need to have some sort of something to listen to get on some shows. So that EP was really just kind of us being like, here's some shit we've got while we're really working on a record that we care about, if that makes sense. And Cold
No,
Class-
totally. Just to kind of have something to give out to people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Kind of this is our sound. Or
right.
this is
I go
what we're
back
doing.
and like those songs have a special place. They're old, they're naive, they're punky, and were recorded with a potato at 4 o'clock in the morning, but like it's that we wouldn't be able to be doing what we are now if we didn't put that shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't have even known who Happy was without that.
Yeah, that was before our time.
yeah, they were not in the band yet then. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of how it just
Oh,
goes
okay.
so far along ago. But yeah, so then we all got together, and that's why we're so excited about this album that we're about to put out in October, is because the three of us really wrote that together, like every inch of it. And it's the first time where we were really able to do that, and we're just really excited about it. I think that
Yeah.
if you've listened to The Endless Bummer, I think you'll be impressed by the stuff that we're about to put out. Hopefully there's some growth there.
Yeah. Well, you have another full-length record. Well, you have
Yeah.
a full-length record out. Was that involving all three of you guys or no? Or that was prior?
Sean and I were together then. It's funny, this band is, we got signed after we'd only been a band for like 6 months. And I think that doesn't really happen a lot. So a lot of our figuring out our band and our sound kind of came after that, where a lot of bands I think get to do that before they're kind of like put into that sort of position, I think. And so it's cool now to be like, over the last 2 years, like we've been together for almost that entire time, but the original lineup was different. But yeah, we have been these three guys for the last since Cult Classic has come out. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Well, tell me about signing. How'd you get the deal with Rude Records? Were you on Rude Records when you put out that first full length?
Yes. So we did the first full length. So we wrote the EP. We put that out. We went to Nashville and worked with Will Pugh from Cartel. He's an excellent guy. He recorded all of Cult Classic. And then we decided to not tell anyone about the record. We just put out one song, a song of ours called Drowners. And it ended up on the Alternative Press, like, Discover Weekly playlist. And Rude yeah, that was just like a really lucky thing that happened to us. And then Rude heard it and reached out to us. And they were like, do you have any other music? We were like, yeah, we actually just recorded 10 songs. So it was just like weirdly perfect timing. And yeah, like I said, we'd only been a band for like 6 months, maybe a year at that point. So
wow.
Yeah, we went straight, hit the ground running. All of us were still in school. We were all trying to graduate. We were trying to just like figure out who we were. And after we put out that record, we had finally finished school and we were like, now let's write music that we can really like focus on and put like our whole selves into. And that's what this album is that you will hear eventually. Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
that was long-winded, but yeah, sorry.
No, it's signing to Rude Records. I mean, there's a ton of rad artists on that record label. Were you like aware of the album? Like, how did they just saw that you made that all press list, like that playlist?
I guess that's just how they heard the song, I guess. I'm not really sure. I wasn't super familiar with Rude at the time. They're not a US-based record label.
Yeah.
However,
they're like Germany or something, I believe, right?
Italy. Yeah.
Italy, okay.
Beautiful Italy.
Italian.
Yeah, they're Italians. They're the coolest though. But yeah, so they heard the song and then damn, I totally lost my train of thought about where I was going with that.
They heard the song and then they reached out to you.
Yes, and then I was gonna say something different after that.
I think we planned on putting the record out just by ourselves, and then literally like a month or two before that happened, we got an email from Rude. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Damn.
And that was back when Stan Atlantic was on Rude. And we're like,
oh, that's what I was gonna say. I remember.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of this band called The Maine.
I know them. I don't know them, but I know the name.
Band at all. They put out a record called Forever Halloween, and it came out through Rude. And I just remember thinking, like, wow, I've loved The Maine since I was a kid, and they worked with them on this record. So, like, that is so sick. And they put out some B-sides by Man Overboard, which is another band that I really love. So they definitely have they had like a decent roster when they reached out to us. We were definitely excited, like off the rip. I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. So,
yeah, and they've put out even like more like, you know, older pop punk-ish stuff like Mighty Mighty Boss Stones, and they've done Saves the Day, and I'm trying to think who else I remember them being on. Guttermouth, I believe, was on that label. Like just random like rad pop punk and pop punk bands.
I think that's my favorite thing about Rude is that like a lot of the like staple record labels that like in the indie and like alternative scene, I feel like are signing a lot more like of not necessarily rock artists right now, which is totally that's fine, you know, but Rude is a label that I feel like is still really signing young upcoming rock bands, and that is really fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like,
there's not many labels like that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a lot of respect for them in that sense, for sure.
Yeah, because the Vagrants and the Victories, like from back in the, you know, when all those bands are kind of bubbling up out of, you know, Long Island and the East Coast, like, those are the labels, and now they're all kind of doing different things or or getting sued.
We just want to play guitars, man. Like,
yeah, dude, totally. Well, I'm looking at Spotify on your on Don't Overdose and Drive. Like that song has over 1 million plays. Was that playlisted? Do you know? Like, was that your single? Like, what happened with that record?
It's funny that you say that. That was the first song we ever released through Rude, and right now we look like a big old one-hit wonder on Spotify because it got.
I mean, other songs have like over 100K. It's crazy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that one for some reason just doesn't stop. I mean,
it's the pop punk workout, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Spotify. Thank you, Spotify. Thank you, Allison. She put it on the punk rock workout playlist right at the New Year, which that was money right there. A lot of people working out, right?
Oh yeah, trying to get that
January hot pocket of punk rock working out, man. That did a lot for that song.
That's a quote.
Yeah, right.
January hot.
January hot.
It still does really well to this day. And
Yeah, it's still our most streamed song every day. It's so funny. It's the song that we didn't even really think we'd even put out as a single, really. It's our easiest song. It is really simple, straightforward. There's nothing complex about it. It's like 4 chords, and that's the one people like. So we're like, well, shit, man. Why are we trying so hard? Like, why?
Yeah, just go with that. That's awesome. Well, okay, so you have a new record coming out. I know you've released a couple of songs off, or like A Cult for Wellness. Is that going to be on the record? And Sick is the New Sane. Okay.
Yeah, so we've dropped 2 songs as of right now that'll be on the record. I don't know what we can say, but we will be dropping more before the record comes out. I think that's all I can say about that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, tell me about the album. It's the first one that all 3 of you guys got to work on together. Tell me about that. And tell me about all 3 of you guys being in the same band now. Like,
hell yeah.
I mean, it's been fun, and it was it's genuinely great for me to like have newer songs that I feel more like ownership of, I guess, because
sure,
like going on tour and playing them every night, it'll be way more fun playing these songs.
Right.
Not that I don't love folk classic.
No, I
Folk
totally
Classic's
get
a great
that.
album, but like,
but you were involved
part
in
of it,
writing the record. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
little bit more,
I love
closer
these
to you.
songs. Like, I feel like we put in a lot of work on them, and I feel myself. I feel like it's all expressing ourselves in the sound, and I think it gels really well. So I hope people like it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's exciting for me too, because I feel like one of our things that we're like really proud of is the energy that we have during a live show, and we've been giving what I guess our fans would say is really good energy when they weren't a part of the first record. So I can't wait to see what it'll be like now that they have been a part of this record, because it's like the energy will only be more intense because you guys are also really stoked on it. So that's really exciting.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And what was do you have like a reason why were those the 2 songs that you let off? Like, why was Sick is the New Sane like the lead off single, or is it just the song you guys decided on?
I think what we've been saying with that is Sick is also like it's a very good bridge from Cult Classic to Imposter Syndrome. It's probably our poppiest song, I guess.
Yeah. I think on Cult Classic, a lot of that is very upbeat. I mean, and so is Imposter Syndrome, but we talk about a lot more intense stuff on this record than I think we did on the first one. And Sick from this record is kind of the most lighthearted of the mix. So we felt like, like just Son just said, it kind of felt like the good introduction to bridge together our old sound and the kind of new sound we're exploring on the new record.
Yeah.
Right on. And with this new record, did you record it at a different place? Like, tell me about putting this album together versus the first Cult Classic record you put out.
It's really funny that you say that. Yeah, the first record we recorded in the middle of July in Nashville, so it was 1,000,000 degrees. And then the record we recorded in Chicago in January, and it was like -10.
Oh, yeah.
That might have a lot to do with the way the record looks and sounds. Now that I think about it, like it was so dark and cold and dreary. Like our album cover is like black. I think that's funny. Yeah. We worked with Marc McClusky. He's worked with Weezer, Motion City Soundtrack, the Front Bottoms.
Oh, wow.
Is not the biggest Front Bottoms fan, and I love them, so we feud over that, which is kind of funny. But yeah, he is an excellent guy, and I think that the record would not be what it is without him. He really, really helped us shape exactly what we were trying to do, and took that to the next level. He is a genius, really.
Yeah.
It's almost insane
I mean,
how intelligent he is.
Yeah, the amount of theory and logic he uses when he writes music is just, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me at all because I just did things on a drum set.
Yeah,
but I mean,
right. Like he was explaining stuff to us about songs that we had written that we didn't even know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, whoa.
He got to this part where he was like, yeah, like this note and this note are like the same exact distance from planet Mars and planet Venus.
Right.
I was just like, what?
It was like, these notes have to do with the solar system. I was like,
Okay.
dude, what the hell? Like, yeah, I was like,
look, man, this is a G chord.
I'm like, so does this power chord work or no? Like,
right.
Yeah.
I am not this smart, man. Like,
That's funny, but sometimes those are the best songs. Like I've interviewed artists that were talking about when they first started playing guitar, like they just started writing right away. So they're playing these chords and weird notes that, their hand was just messed up and it sounded that way, so they're just running with it. You know, I think sometimes that comes out. You can come out with some really creative stuff, you know, doing it that way.
Everything I have ever written, I have no idea what it is, so that's cool. Like, I don't know what I'm playing. I'm just making shit up as I go along. Thank God for John. John is really smart. He knows how to take my like chaos and cater it into something beautiful. So thank you, John.
That's awesome. So the record's gonna be called Imposter Syndrome.
Yeah.
And it says that it's about your personal experience with imposter syndrome. Why do you guys feel that way?
I think that
we think everybody feels that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
At least at some point, and maybe not like an ongoing feeling, but I think that anyone that works in any sort of creative field, really at all, can sometimes feel like they're not doing enough, or that the person next to them is more successful for whatever reason. And I think that as artists and as like bands, we don't really talk about that a lot because everything's supposed to be super cool and perfect and famous and whatever. And like, that is just not the reality most of the time, you know? And we just wanted to talk about that, I guess. And so, I mean, the good and the bad, like we talk about the parts that are hard and the parts that suck. And we talk about some of the greatest experiences of our whole lives. So I think that, you know, that can go one of two ways. Sometimes being in a band is the coolest thing in the world, and sometimes it's the most stressful thing in the world. And I think that most of this record is about all of the ends of the spectrum of that for us and our experiences.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you'll hear about artists like, you know, I feel weird like charging people to watch my band play, like in the beginning. Exactly. And it's like, well, you gotta, if you want to keep doing it and you want people to keep
right.
you know, hearing your songs, you obviously have to fund it in some capacity.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, that's a really cool concept to come up with a record about. I like that.
Thanks, man.
What about like you guys are releasing it probably during, you know, lockdown? I would guess. How does
Most
that?
likely, yeah.
Is that all right? Like, how do you feel about it?
I think it honestly kind of goes along with the theme of the record, really, like, because, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of talk of like, do we still put this out? We can't tour. What do we do? And that just kind of goes along with the concept of that struggle and that stress of like feeling that pressure all of the time. And I think that what we're trying to say with some of these songs on the record kind of caters to that idea that this is almost the perfect time for us to put out this record, because it is, all of those feelings are amplified right now because of the pandemic. So yeah, I think that the most direct and honest way we could have put this out is to do it when it's the most difficult. So yeah, I think people maybe need it, or hopefully it can help somebody, even if it's one person. That'll be sick.
Totally.
I think we owe it to our fans too, you know.
Absolutely, they've been waiting a long time for this, so we want to give it to them.
And I want people to hear it because I've been listening to the studio mixes for 6 months now. Like, 8 months. Jeez.
Yeah.
January. Wow.
Is it August?
It's
what month is it? What day is it? Where are we? It's still March, dude. Like,
I can't believe it's August. Like, what happened?
What in the world?
We've been locked inside for what, like 5 months now. It's crazy.
When we announced the record the other day, a couple of kids were like, "Oh my gosh, October, that's so far away." And I was like, "No, you're gonna blink and it's gonna be tomorrow." You're not. The months are flying by.
Dude, I know. This is like just been the year that just didn't ever, like, it just disappeared, I feel like.
For real.
Crazy. I saw you did on your Instagram, which is really cool. You gave fans a chance to win a phone call from you guys. Tell me about that.
We've done a lot of contests where we've given away like t-shirts or tickets or merch bundles or whatever. And I mean, those always go really well, but we thought that just back to the quarantine thing, like what's a way that we can stay connected? We can't see our fans in person. We can't play for them. We can't hang out with them. So what's a way that we can just like maybe keep the intimacy between us and them going? And so we figured, I don't know, I won a phone call from Mayday Parade when I was in like the 7th grade, and I thought that was
did?
Cool.
That's
they
awesome.
never called me. Which, you know, it's fine because I'm still a big Mayday Parade fan. I'm sure that they just got overwhelmed, and that's cool. We're still gonna call you. Don't worry. No, but I just thought that was so cool when I was a kid, and we just thought it'd maybe be just like a different, fun idea. We just asked for a number to call them out in their time zone. We're just gonna surprise them next week at some point with maybe like a FaceTime call or something. So
that is dope. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've seen bands that have like texting things, like they have like a number that you could text them to, but like, you know, who knows if it's really them or a bot or, you know, something
Right,
responding.
yeah.
But the fact that you're going to call them up or FaceTime call, I think that's so cool. I think we'll really be stoked on that.
Well, yeah, we appreciate them even caring. So
Yeah.
anything we can do to thank them for their time and, you know, just everything. Like there's so many bands out there. So for them to take the time and effort to be into ours is really, really humbling. So we try
Very
to
cool.
give back in any way we can.
Yeah. And what have you been doing to promote it aside from like interviews like this? Have you been live streams? Have you been doing any of that stuff?
Yeah. So we haven't announced this yet. I'm not sure. When will this interview drop? Can I ask that?
Whenever you want. I mean,
Oh,
look,
okay,
we
cool.
it's usually like 2 weeks out just because
Okay, yeah.
there's so
Well,
many.
I feel like
But
we can say this. We're going to do a live stream show at some point. Yes, about this album. We can't tell you a date specifically yet, but yeah, we definitely are going to do that. I think that now that we've announced the record and we started putting out songs, we can do like acoustic versions and like Q&As. And I mean, really, we'll be figuring it out as we go. We've never put out a record in quarantine yet. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
definitely a first for us. But yeah, I mean, anything. We made a TikTok, which is something I thought I'd never do, but I realized that it's a way that we can reach people that maybe we couldn't reach on other platforms. So that's a new adventure we're trying.
how do you feel about that?
They really are,
I
yeah.
think, isn't it banned right now though for like the next 3 months or something like that?
They didn't do that.
They
They
Uh-huh.
tried.
Oh,
No,
okay.
That's been the rumor.
Come get me. I'm on TikTok. Like,
I have a 12-year-old son right behind that door behind me, and he's probably on TikTok as we speak. So I know.
We're trying our best to get on the For You page. Let us know if he sees us.
Yeah, man. I know it's crazy how massive that app has just
It really
become.
Is. I looked at the top 40 radio the other day just to see, and it's all TikTok songs.
Yeah, it really is.
It's all and like bands are just popping up out of like songs are being like rebirthed, like you know, Simple Plan songs and stuff that are just coming out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, you know, it's bizarre, and it's crazy how many people are on it. It'll be interesting to see which company will buy them or whatever if they even sell. I mean, what's it going to take? They're going to ban it, and then Facebook will just create their own version of it. Like, you know.
Instagram announced Reels like yesterday, I think. And TikTok retweeted it, and they were like, "Wow, this looks familiar." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. So that's Facebook's answer right there. Instagram Reels. That's hilarious. I love your merch too. Thank you for putting out a T-shirt that's not just black and not just white. I like the striped one with the
Thanks, man.
That's dope. I like that. And the records are so you're gonna put out vinyl. It looks like
we love vinyl. We did vinyl cassettes and CDs for our first record and found that the vinyl sold better than anything else. There's definitely like a vinyl revival happening.
People love vinyl. They really do.
It's more of a collector's item.
Yeah,
I think that's it too. Like I have a million vinyl just because I like having the physical thing, and it's like big and cool, and it's just the CD isn't as like, especially now, it's just kind of like back in the day it was like, oh, I get the CD because that's the only thing you can really use to play it on. But now it's like with everything streaming, the vinyl records are just.
We sell them most like at live shows. Like kids want us to like sign them, and they'll put them like in a shadow box on the wall or something. Like
oh yeah, I mean I got a million of them right here. Here's a
hell yeah,
Dead Weather one.
That's it.
Yeah, that's like my whole house. That's my like obsession is when I see a band buying the vinyl and trying to get them to sign it like right there at the show.
That's sick. Hell yeah.
That's cool, man. I love it. Rad. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been so great. So the new record's coming out. You're doing some live stream stuff. Other than that, like, have you been writing a lot during quarantine, or is it just kind of like just focusing on getting out this record?
I think
both.
Both, yeah. I think we're trying to write some new stuff. I think we're always kind of writing. I don't think that ever really stops for us. As far as what that writing will mean and what it'll be, I don't think we know yet. But
we have no idea.
Yeah.
We want to write anything except jazz right now.
Yeah. John's going through a jazz phase, so we're dealing with that now.
That's cool.
We tried to sit down the other day and write, and we were like, what are we doing? It's all over the place. But I mean, I think the earlier start you have, the better. Because I mean, my favorite albums are albums that have taken months and months to write. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not something you just sit down and do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So we're trying to get a head start, but we don't know what it's gonna sound like.
that's true. I think that is what's cool about being in a band is like by the time a record drops, it's already been something we've been familiar with for so long
Yeah.
that we're already writing newer stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we've had these Imposter Syndrome songs we've got some songs for 2 years now. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
So yeah, we're excited for people to finally hear it.
Yeah, totally. That is awesome, man. Well, I can't wait to hear the whole record. And thank you guys so much for doing this. I have one more question, and I want to see if I can get an individual answer from you guys. Aside from the fact that, Sean, I love your Basement T-shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Really, I love that band, man. That most recent record is unreal. How cool it is. How good it is.
Great record, but I mean, honestly, nothing compares though to their older stuff.
Yeah.
You can just promise everything. I mean. Wish you could be here. What's Color Me in Kindness?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Those are just great records.
Yeah, they're a great band. Yeah, besides myself, Disconnect is such a rad song.
Yeah, I saw them actually with Weezer, and they played it, and just to see them play, because I mean, that was my first concert. Actually, was a Basement, Story So Far, Turnover. That's what's on. I think that was it.
Oh wow,
that's a dope first show.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it was packed, but I mean, to see them go from that to opening in front of 30,000 people, I mean, it's just insane.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring to see someone of that genre, I guess, because that's where a lot of my drumming inspiration comes from, is Basement. And
oh really?
Oh yeah,
their drummer's killer.
If you listen to Basement or Movements, you'll be like, oh god, this dude is ripping off all their drum parts. Yeah,
that's cool, man. Yeah, that's a rad shirt. I haven't seen too many people sporting Basement gear.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I mean,
it's such a good band.
It's a fantastic band.
Yeah, right on, guys. Well, okay, so I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists. I'll see if I can get an answer from you guys.
Okay.
You first.
Oh, expiring. Okay.
Not expiring.
Aspiring.
Inspiring.
Expiring.
What did I say?
Expiring.
Aspiring.
Anyways.
It doesn't matter.
Advice to aspiring. That's what I said.
Okay.
Anyways, advice. If you want to start playing music, don't expect to get paid any money for the first 10 years probably. Don't expect money. Do it because you love it.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Passion. It's all passion.
It's kind of depressing, but
what I learned is if you are in school and you have opportunity to take guitar classes or anything like that, do that because it keeps you in it. And I struggle with like doing things every single day, like practicing, but I took like guitar classes in high school and that kept me in it every single day for a whole year. So I mean, that's how I learned guitar and drums, band and stuff. Do that. Yeah.
All right, John. What's your advice to an expiring musician?
I'd say do your best in your hometown to book as many shows as you can possibly play. Maybe 1 or 2 a month. Just hop on every bill you possibly can.
Once a month is good.
Try and build that rep. Make sure everybody knows you're active and working on it. And use that money you make from getting paid, whatever little it is, and just save it up and get a quality recording, a quality first.
Oh, that's also a very good
just to put
one.
out music, and so that people can have something tangible on the internet that they can look up and then once you start getting bigger shows, then people will have something that they can look up and search, and that's a good way for smaller bands to build a
That's also a really good thing. We had a local legend that we looked up to, a band called Finding Lucy, and we just grown close with them over the years. And the advice they gave us was you want quality, not quantity when it comes to music production. Because you don't want, 10 shitty songs. You want 2 or 3 really good produced songs because that's what people want to listen to. They don't,
It might be different with the Spotify algorithms now.
Yeah.
But you knows that mess.
I'm going to say, this is going to sound super corny, but literally the whole, don't stop, don't give up thing is so real because the minute that you feel like you're spinning your wheels, that's when an opportunity will come around the corner. It's really easy to feel complacent and you're not, doing enough, but just keep doing something. And I promise it will connect with someone one day. It will. Someone out there is going to like your music. You just have to figure out how to reach them.